Ain't no shortcuts, every yard gotta earn it. Small town kids with a big city purpose. We bring the highlights, they bring the pressure. Friday night legends getting built by the quarter. Cameras rolling out, the whole state watching. Every touchdown got the whole crowd rocking. Northern Nevada put the city on the map. Cover 775 where the real ones at.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Dank Dash through cover 775, and this is episode number 9.
Yep, Galena is in the building tonight. Galena.
Man, we got our guy Aaron Cook in the building, head varsity coach of Galena.
Not many places have, the letter up on the hill. Damani has it, Galena has it.
Got a chance to meet this guy, dude. It's pretty cool vibes. We're cover 775, episode 9. Let's go.
Ain't no shortcuts, every yard gotta earn it. Small town kids with a big city purpose. We bring the highlights, they bring the pressure. Friday night legends getting built by the quarter. Cameras rolling out, the whole state watching. Every touchdown got the whole crowd rocking. Northern Nevada put the city on the map. Cover 775 where the real ones at.
We are back with episode 9 of Cover 775, our Northern Nevada High School football show. Now today we had an awesome day with the photo shoot and our Cover 775 official media day. First
Are
ever.
you tired yet? Are you tired?
Not yet. We'll see.
Huh?
Not yet. Not yet. We're just getting going.
We're
just getting going.
We've been working.
We have been.
Crazy.
We have been, but it's
a good time.
It's beautiful. I want to first, before we get going, I'm gonna give a shout out before Coach is able to Andrew and Lane, who pulled up today and for Galena and represented really well for the Galena program and was a part of the Cover 775 media day.
He was on time. He had his pads. He beat us there.
Yeah, he was waiting when I pulled up.
Okay, he beat us there.
That was Andrew.
All right. Salute to Andrew, man. Nothing but love, man. Class out kids out of Galena.
All right,
both of those good football players.
To leading Coach into the room, I found out after talking to him that we both graduated in 07.
Okay.
And funny thing is, me going to McQueen, the biggest thing for McQueen at that time is not any level, freshman, JV, or varsity had ever lost to Galena in a football game in the entire program's history until my year. Our year was the first team to ever lose to Galena. So, and I remember it was JV year. Our seniors gave us so much crap for it. Like, really? You guys are about to be the first ones to ever lose to Galena? And yeah, unfortunately, we were.
Well,
We were.
I tell you what, Galena ain't that way anymore. Things are real at Galena.
Yeah, no.
Aaron Cook's in charge.
What's going on, Coach?
What up, Coach?
Hey guys, how you doing?
How are you, brother?
Good. How about you guys?
Good. Thanks for the hangout this morning, man. It was amazing meeting you today, man. And shout out to your two players. What's the vibes going into the season, Coach?
It's good. It's high. I mean, we've been really excited. We've had really good consistency. Started at the end of January in zero period, and we've been working all spring and through spring ball and summer ball. We've had a lot of good commitment, good work happening. We're not perfect, but I wouldn't want us to be perfect right now. And the care is there, and that's what you want to see as a head coach. Our guys really care about our season coming up, and they know our goals and expectations, and they've really bought into it, so that's good.
Are you senior heavy, junior heavy?
I have about 20 seniors. It's pretty mixed, I would say. It's half and half. Only 2 or 3 sophomores, but mostly half and half, junior, senior.
All right, so you became head coach of Galena in 2019, that's correct?
Yeah, yep.
And then you were at Damani, doing what at Damani?
Oh, man. I started in 08, and I was the freshman D-line coach. I coached every position at every level throughout my years.
So you graduated and then went straight into coaching?
Yeah, man. In high school,
wow,
I just wanted to be a coach in high
ranks.
school. Yeah. There's a funny story on one of the NSN interviews when I first got hired. I told the story about when I was in high school, I created my own playbook. And Tony Amatia was the head coach at Damani. And my parents were jazzed about it. It was a 20-page playbook. It was probably terrible plays. And I took it to Coach A, and I was like, hey, I created this playbook. And he kind of looked at me like I was crazy. But I just fell in love with the the X's and O's and just the strategy of the game and how to work to get there. And so when I graduated, I was like, this is what I want to do. And I'll never forget, I went to UNR, and the counselor at UNR is like, people don't just do that. Like, that's not a thing. And I was like, well, I'm going to do it. And they're like, no, you have to have a career. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then, I'll figure it out. And I never really wanted to be a teacher. My mom was a teacher for like 30 years. I didn't want to teach. But I found out in order to coach, you got to teach. You got to be on campus and be with guys all the time. So that's kind of what I did. And I was thankful. We had a lot of good years over at Bonnie, and then got the call in 2019 to go up to Galena. I wasn't even 30 years old when I got hired as one of the youngest head coaches in the state. But we've been rocking.
Wow. Not even 30 years old, you just said that when you started at Galena. That's impressive.
Now, what is it like to be humbled along that journey of not being like, what is that like? Because listen, me personally, I'm not that guy. A head coach come talking shit to me on the sideline, I'm going to lose it, and it's going to get real. What's the motivation to stay humble until you get your turn in that spot?
It was rough. I mean, not rough in the sense like, I wouldn't say it was hard, but there was times where I was like, I'm ready. And luckily I had some good guidance, when I was under Sean Dupree over at Des Moines, and he let me take the reins on some things. Like traveling and setting up fundraising and stuff like that. So I kind of got a little bit of taste. I was lucky to have his guidance through that. But there was times where I thought, man, I think I deserve a shot. I applied back in the day for the hub job way back when it was open, like 2018. And it kind of crushed my dreams because I wasn't even a finalist. And I was like, well, what the heck? Like, I've done everything. I've been grinding for, 11 years. And you just have to stick with it and know when your number's called and step up to the plate and have fun.
So then what brought you to Galena? Was that just the opening at the time?
There was a couple openings. I'd always liked Galena. To be honest, when I started playing at Des Moines was when Des Moines was built. And we didn't have any fields. So they used to bus us up to Galena every summer practice, and we'd have to go up there and practice, and they'd bus us back down to the school. So I had a little bit of a relationship that way with that school. I like the community. I like how tight-knit it is. It's a beautiful campus. It's pretty spread out, but it's nice on the hillside, and it's pretty unique, I'd say.
It is definitely unique. It might beat McQueen in terms of elevation. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to double check that. But it is in a nice, tucked away up on the mountainside.
Is it east or west?
What do you mean?
I'm fucking with you.
I mean, in terms of like where they're located, I've always enjoyed where Galena's located and their campus. It is up on Mount Rose Highway. It's a nice, beautiful little spot. Basically, I want to say overlooking the whole city for the most part. I mean,
so North Valley's coach says that North Valley is the only team in the area that has a east and west field and not a north and south field, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you think about how you got here, and what is it like being a head coach now? Through your journeys, what have you learned going through that gauntlet of yes, of no, then yes, and then being here? How do you approach it? And then here's my second question. Do you want to go further? Because you sound like a real coach that might want to go further. So I'm going to let you start there. Go for it.
When I started at Galena, we had one season, then they shut down for COVID. So that was wild. I mean, I was a 30-year-old coach, and I was going through a shutdown. And I was like, I didn't know what was up or down or sideways. And luckily I had a good AD at the time that kind of helped guide me through that. And we didn't have a season through that COVID year. And then we kind of went into that 4-game season or whatever. And coming out of that, man, we were jazzed. We're ready to go. And then we have a winless season. And that was just, it was eye-opening. It really took me back. And I kind of had to look myself in the mirror and say, is this really like, am I able to do this? And I've always prided myself on proving people wrong. Going back to the UNR counselor told me I wouldn't be a head coach one day. And I've always prided myself on, showing people what's up. And so I stuck with it, and I've had a ton of fun. We played 2 state championship games out of the last 3 years and had a lot of fun. We came up short both of those times, and that drives me every single day, literally. As far as next level, I love my kids. I love our program. I love being there on Thursday and Friday nights with the boys, and that's my only focus, not anything bigger.
What are those Friday nights like for you? What are those wake up in the morning Fridays for you throughout that whole day going into your coaching situation? What is it like Friday, from the time you open your eyes? What's that day like for you?
I feel like I don't sleep the night before. I'm a lot of nerves. It's exciting. It's a lot a lot of excitement, a lot of anxiousness. We'll get to the school and we'll run a 0 period film session with the guys on Friday mornings. I usually feed them to make sure they have some food in their bellies and get to school. And usually the school day goes pretty fast. And then right after school, we feed them again, and then we go into a pregame routine. And by the time it kicks off, it's like kind of deep breath. I'm like, oh, we made it. This is what life's about.
What do you do at Galena?
I'm a teacher. I teach special education.
Okay, teach special ed. Now, how difficult is that, being a teacher, being a coach, especially special education? Like sometimes you hear coaches, I teach weights, I'm a manager of the hallways and this, that, and the third, right? You're a special education teacher. Like, how does that work out for you? How hard is that to balance those two?
I wouldn't say it's hard. I mean, I love being on campus and being in the community, and I've been able to bring some pretty special things to Galena. You know, we became a Special Olympics unified school a couple years ago, and I had a lot of toolage in doing that and bringing that kind of stuff. Obviously, my guys are involved with the Special Olympics stuff that we do at the school, and so I really like to have that inclusive environment. I bring that to our program as well, allowing students opportunities that maybe they wouldn't have had at different programs, and so it's kind of a special piece for me. I will tell you, as far as the hard question goes, 2 years ago I was the athletic director and the head coach. That was hard. That was a grind, and that was rough. That fall was insane because that's the year we played in state, and we had soccer in state like the week before, and that was crazy being the athletic director. But I learned a lot from that, and I appreciate that journey.
You didn't like athletic director? You didn't like being athletic director?
I did, but the district made a rule where he can't do it anymore. So it is what it is. I went back to the classroom after that.
Oh, okay.
You can't be AD and head coach?
Yeah, it's kind of funny, man. They said you can't do it. Like, you literally can't do it. And I was like, well, I just did for a whole year. So what do you mean? It's what it is.
Why do you think they did that? Do you know?
They just don't. And I understand their reasoning. I'm not arguing their reasoning. They just don't want to, the two different sides of things. You should have an AD that's overseeing, your budgets and traveling and all sorts of stuff. And you shouldn't be the one that's in charge of that. And I get that and I respect that. It was kind of funny how it happened.
It just makes sense, I guess, because you could allocate more of your attention to your own sport that you're coaching versus you're supposed to give 100% to all the other ones, and on top of that.
Right.
So your budget, you give a little bit more budget to your football program and stuff like that. It makes sense.
What were the cool challenges of being a AD? What was the really things that you really, because I think that's a job you might want to revisit later on, perhaps in your later time.
Yeah. It was awesome. I love being involved with the other sports and seeing how they run their programs, and was able to learn, like how different, players react to different coaching styles, and, being out there with girls soccer compared to, softball or baseball or boys basketball. I enjoyed it fully. Going up and watching the ski team, like that was amazing. Galena has a great ski team, watching that coach do his work. And so I did take some stuff from it, stuff that, I even implemented in my own coaching. And so I did like it. And one day I might go back to it, but not until I'm done coaching.
What's some stuff that you guys stand on and are built on for the Galena football program? What are some stuff that you harp on the kids and drill into their brains?
It all comes back to togetherness and caring for each other. We have the slogan together. It's on the back of a lot of our apparel, and it's on the back of our helmets. It's all over the place. And we really talk about that togetherness, because I really truly believe that in life you can do anything if you do it together. We could beat anybody in the state except for, the big G down south. If we do it together. And so we really, really pride ourselves on teaching that togetherness and, and the care for each other as well. We talk about this care component. Like, if you're missing practice, you're not caring for your teammate. If you're going half speed in a rep, you're not caring for your teammate, you're not caring for the program. And so that's pretty much the nucleus of what we're built around, is doing everything together and showing that care. And it starts with my staff showing up every day on time, setting that example to the kids. And that's kind of what we pride ourselves on.
So I was looking back at your schedules. You had, not counting the COVID stuff, you had 3 straight years of above 500, with the most recent being 9-3, and then last year a little bit of a down year. What was it going to take to get Galena back into that 9-3 realm, or top of the league?
It's a funny question, because a lot of people have asked it. We're McQueen did it last year, but we're the only team that went down twice already and won the lower league. Not a lot of people realize that Galena only has 1,200 students. We're one of the lowest in the state for our classification. We're a 5-star school, we're a great school, but I don't have the selection of athletes that some of these other schools do, and I don't pick my athletes either. And so we have to focus on what we're developing every year with what we have. I think last year we went up a division, and I'll be fair, we didn't have the depth that we should have had in those games. But if you look at the scores from last year a little bit more in depth, we never got shut out. 2 games at Douglas and at Reed were winning to start the game. We just didn't have the depth to keep up with those guys, and guys like Spanish and Reed and Minogue, and they were just too deep for us. And I think this year we turn around, we do have some depth. We return most of our front, so that's exciting.
That is good. Are you, given that you have a small population in that school, are you guys fielding a JV and a freshman team?
Yeah, and that's something I really pride myself out of COVID is making sure I had 3 levels. You have to have that feeder group, and making sure we haven't had a season since I think 21 where we didn't have 3 levels. So we have 3 levels. We're rocking. Our numbers are a little lower this summer, but it is what it is. I think that's across the valley. But yeah, we have 3 levels and ready to go.
Do you wish that you guys still had double days?
I mean, I don't know how to answer that. And do I wish that? I don't know. We're able to manage our practices pretty well, so I think we do a good job of managing our practices.
Yeah, you had double days back in your day, right?
Yeah, I did.
What did you most learn from those double days?
How to fight through some adversity, how to feel like things were super tough in the end of the world, and you're going to be okay. You're going to wake up tomorrow. And, we have ways to do that now still, but it's a little different. In the summertime though, we run a 4-hour morning practice, and it's broken up into 2 2-hour sessions, like an hour and 45, and then a 2-hour session. And so it's not double days, but we are working 2 different aspects of that practice, and it's a long practice, and we teach the guys how to eat in between and stuff like that. So similar, but not the same.
I learned so much in my time playing high school football through double days, because it taught me how to balance as a man, right? You had to go to practice in the morning, take off those wet pads after that first practice, get you something to eat, get you some sleep, enough sleep to be functional at that next practice. So every year as I progress from freshman, sophomore, so on and forth, right? You saw the newer kids come in that didn't know how to manage 2-a-days, and they would suffer. And as you got to be older as a senior, you really realize how that worked. And now as a businessman, as a father, I learned a lot from those days to find out, how do I manage and break through? There's some days, dog, where I am in my car and I have to take a quick nap in the parking lot of the gym. You hear me? But I go back to the double days and I say to myself, this is what I learned back then. And I think that they've taken that a little bit away from these kids now, and it is what it is. But, I think that you guys have definitely learned how to modify what to implement into those days that we don't have like we used to back in the day. And they cut them out. And I think that may be for health. I'm not quite sure, but
yeah, that's what it probably comes down to.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
So you guys both mentioned eating.
Right.
This is a question that we ask every single coach.
Okay.
What's the snack shack like up there at Galena? What's the hot dog and burger like, if there is one?
I'll be transparent. A couple years ago, it was rocking because we had Chick-fil-A every Friday night, and that was like the thing. The kids loved the Chick-fil-A. We got away from selling the Chick-fil-A, but it's good.
Wait, Galena had Chick-fil-A?
We did, yeah. We had a little deal with them. It was pretty unique, and so we might have something up our sleeves this fall. I'll tell you that. You'll have to come check it out. But I think I have something cool happening. So.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I like to hear. That's
right.
One of the better answers we've gotten from that.
10-4. So, Coach, what is it like for you and your family? You have kids, wife, right?
No, I'm engaged. No kids. I'm engaged. My fiance, she's an administrator over at Reed High School, and no kids though.
Did I meet her today? Did she come to the?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, how old are you, Coach?
I'm 37.
Man, you just getting started out. No wonder you. No wonder. All right, we can talk now. So, how is she handling your coaching situation? How does she deal with it? Because she's about to be wifey, and then kids are going to come in too later on down the road here. How does she deal with that right now? You're the man as a head coach.
She's amazing. I think any head coach will tell you that you have to have a strong support system, and that's all she is. She always constantly supports me every day. And through the grind and how craziness, all the craziness, and she's an administrator as well. So when we come home, we have some pretty crazy stories for each other, and we just fall asleep somewhere with something to eat and wake up and do it again, because most of our days are 12, 13-hour days. And but we have that support for each other, and she does a great job. And she helps me out with little things in the program, like building our program and our ads and banners and stuff like that. And so I rely on her a lot. So I'm thankful to have her.
Key to success is a good woman, brother.
Yeah, for sure.
Key to success is a good woman. And those are good answers, by the way.
Yeah.
She's going to appreciate that, doggy.
Yeah.
Now, Coach, listen, what do we have to look forward to for Galena football? Who's your offensive guys? What offense are you running? Like, what's going to happen this year for Galena football to let us know how you guys are going to make this thing happen on this season?
I think we'll be a lot more exciting. My offense is spread multiple, kind of derived from my years over at Damani, where we had things rocking in a spread variation. Then I took a year to study under Coach Marion and the go-go offense. And so we kind of have a nice little mesh of both styles, and we do a lot of different things.
Where's Marion at? Where's Coach Marion at?
Now he's the OC at Colorado.
Okay. All right, cool.
So it was back in the day when he was at Howard, and they had a big upset. They beat UNLV, and that's when I started kind of paying attention to what he was doing. And then he had a journey to Pitt, and even when he was at Texas helping, he's their co-offense coordinator. I was sending him clips, and he would give me feedback and stuff like that. So I'm really thankful to him and what some of the stuff that he taught me, and we were able to marry in a lot of that stuff into what we do. And we're very multiple. If you look at our stats from any year, we have 20, 25 guys that touch the ball or carry the ball throughout the season. It's not just one guy. But we're going to be explosive. I return most of my front on both sides, and so that's really exciting. Anytime you do that in high school ball, you're going to be okay. That's key up front. If you can stay up front, then you're okay. But we have some playmakers, a couple guys that came up from our JV squad last year. We had a pretty successful lower level squad last year, and so we're excited. We're going to be explosive.
What are some of those names on your team?
Oh yeah, Lane, and Lane Blue was there this morning. He's a real wiry receiver. He reminds me of a kid that I sent back in 2015 or something, right? I sent a kid up to Idaho, and he reminds me just of him. I mean, Lane is so his ball skills are elite. We're working on his twitchiness and getting in and out of breaks a little bit quicker, but he is elite. He's long, he's athletic, he's a tough dude. And then Andrew Cannon, a small guy, you guys saw him this morning. He's not the tallest guy in the world, and he'll get mad at me for saying that. But man, he's a warrior. He is an absolute dog. He wants to go into the special forces when he's done in high school, and he doesn't stop. And
for the people that don't know, that's these guys right here.
No excuses, pain talk. I speak fluent. They arrest. I keep moving.
Cover 775 photo shoot this morning, man.
No days off, no sleep.
Our game time series is coming. We had Galena first. Come on, man. Look at the uniforms. You dig? We're so thankful for those guys, man. Yeah. So listen, what can we expect this season, man? What numbers? Where do you think it's going?
I don't know what you mean about numbers, but we know our goals, and we keep that tightly in our group. But we should be, our expectation is to compete for this league. We're expecting to play in November, and we're expecting to host a game late in November, and that's been our goal since day one in late January. And we know our competition, and my out of league schedule is pretty tough on purpose. I want our guys to go through some adversity and feel that punch and get back up, and then get back in the league and keep rocking.
So we got Pahrump Valley, Truckee, Reed, Damani Ranch. Where's Wood?
It's in Vacaville. It's actually where Carson Strong went to high school.
Okay.
All right.
And Reno. So yeah, I see where you're out of league is. You're playing some dogs, Reed and Damani and Reno.
Yeah.
I see that. You got North Valley's Carson, Wooster, and Hug. If Max Preps is correct.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit off.
Yeah.
There's teams not named in there.
Sometimes, yeah.
So, Coach, what do you think about the whole entire thing of the teams in the South getting out of the NIAA and not having, they can make their own decisions now? What do you think about that, considering what your history is and what you've seen, and you seem to be a big student of the game? What do you think about that down there, that little tobacco?
I think the only thing I'll say is I think it's a little funny, because back in 2018 or 2019, I can't remember when, they had an opportunity to do the same thing. We asked them to do that to get away from Gorman, and they said, oh no, we're real talented. Liberty, they can hang with them, and Arborview, they can hang with them. They got dogs. Now all of a sudden they don't have those dogs. Now all of a sudden they want to get away from them. And so
now they get a wonk wonk.
Yeah, now we're here, right? So yeah, it's interesting. But they didn't go out of the NCAA. They're just out of the NCAA playoffs. So there's a little misconception I think going around about that. It is what it is. I mean,
right? Yeah, they still have to be sanctioned by the NIAA, but for the playoffs, makes sense.
Coach, what do you think about the camaraderie amongst the coaches in the 775? It seems to be pretty damn cool, man. I enjoyed seeing a mixture of coaches come together today and just have conversations. And these guys just sat down picnic style today and just kicked it, man. What do you think about the vibes in the 775 amongst the coaches?
I think it's gotten better. I think we went through a period of a lot of turnover and some new faces, and so it took a couple of years, but it's great. Our head coaches meetings are, for the most part, positive and constructive. And CJ is one of my good friends over at Reno, and I'm able to call him or text him if I have a question. And we're able to rely on each other, and so I think we have a pretty tight knit community as far as head coaches go. And we just want to promote the game, promote the kids. I think we have a lot of talent in the area that kind of goes unnoticed at times, and so. I'm a big proponent of helping out when college coaches walk through my door. I'm not only presenting what we have in a real way, but I'm also promoting, guys down the street at Damani, Minogue, even though those guys are rivals, I'm still going to promote the guys in our area, and I think the other head coaches do the same.
Yeah, and I think that the Northern Nevada is as large as it's getting and feels like it's becoming. There's not a lot of room to run and hide in the Northern Nevada, so I think you guys are well connected from what we've seen. Everyone seems to be really cool and respectful of each other and have friendships a lot of the times. I mean, we were talking to Carson, and he says he golfs with Rob at Spanish Springs, and you say you can text CJ anytime and bounce things off of each other. I know Marner has the same approach with a lot of the coaches in town. It's cool to see in the 775. I think that what that ultimately does is just uplifts the kids all across the board is what it does ultimately.
Yep, for sure.
Coach, where is the worst place every year to play in the 775? Where's the worst place to play? Because listen, I have seen teams come up to McQueen, bro, and die. I've seen some of these California teams come to McQueen, and I've seen it get kind of cold and seen some of them.
Sorry, Coach, you just got to name somebody not on your schedule. That's all.
Right. The bulletin material, right? Yeah, no kidding. I mean, McQueen is tough. I mean, in the when it's wintry weather up there, that wind whips and howls, and one of the coldest, best games ever at McQueen though was winning the region championship when we knocked off Ernie at Reed. When I was over with Damani, and so I have fond memories of the McQueen field, so I can't bash it too much.
Coach, give us a shout out for your administration, man.
Yeah, I've heard you guys ask this question. I'm gonna go on a little different route. Wendy Sullivan is our bookkeeper, and Alma Rapisur is our athletic secretary. And I'll shout them out because nobody does the work that those two do, I think, at every high school, and they get zero credit for the stuff that they do, dealing with school starting and brand new kids and fees and all sorts of stuff. And then you got your football coach in there. You're like, hey, I need this, I need this paperwork. And the clearance protocols nowadays with Activate is just insane. And so I want to shout those two out. My AD is actually somebody that played for me back at Damani. He played running back, Sam Banghart. And so that's been kind of fun. He's been there for a year. And so that's been kind of a fun little relationship I have there. But yeah, I'll shout out those two for sure.
He's making you do up downs now. He said, Coach, you do up downs now.
Yeah, you can try.
Give me 2. Give me 3. Yeah, I'm just messing with you. Go ahead. Keep going. I'm sorry, Coach. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Who else?
Well, I mean, our principal, Jay Salter, he's been there since I've been there. We actually started the same year at the school, so that's been a unique opportunity. And then we got 2 vice principals up there. Galena only has 2 vice principals, which is kind of rare for Northern Nevada. And that they support me, obviously, in my teaching role and coaching as well.
So you said 20, like 1,200 students?
Yeah.
And you guys have 2 vice principals and a principal?
Yeah.
You guys must have that on lock up there in terms of making sure everything goes smoothly.
Yeah, it's wild, especially if one of them's out, and it's interesting.
If there's one thing I know about Galena is academically and even athletically, it's always been a well-respected high school in general. It's definitely like a high school that kids can get a real education at, get a quality education at. I know that there is. I don't want to. I'm not guessing or speculating, but the funding's not normally an issue a lot of the times, and it's a spot where a kid can get a real good education. Galena has always been respected on that level my whole life here.
Yep.
Okay, I'm with it. Thank you. Listen, Coach, we appreciate you, man, for hanging out with the Cover 775, man. It's been another beautiful podcast here, episode number 9.
Yep. Also, I wanna give you a special thanks, like for real thanks, because a lot of the coaches that we had today and the kids that we had today at our media day, we had already sat down and interviewed them and got to know them and before they sent their kids to us, and we hadn't had a chance to really talk to you yet, and you trusted us enough to send your kids before we even had this interview, and that speaks a lot, and we appreciate that big time.
No, I appreciate you guys, and anything we can do to grow the game in the area and expand our platform, I think is good for the kids. Get the names out there, get the faces out there, and it's all good. It's positive.
Absolutely. Episode 9.
That's it. Let's do it. We out of here, man. Salute. We had Coach Aaron Cook tonight, man.
Hang with us just after this.
Please hang out.
This exit outro.
Amazing.
Ain't no shortcuts, every yard gotta earn it. Small town kids with a big city purpose. We bring the highlights, they bring the pressure. Friday night legends getting built by the quarter.
Amazing. Another Sunday night of talking high school football, man, with Cover 775. Episode number 9, varsity head coach Aaron Cook.
Grizzlies.
Was amazing, man. We love you guys, man. Thanks for tuning in, man. See you next time.